Welcome to the Rock Solid Kitchen, and I thought I'd do a nice special curry because it is curry week this week. So I'm going to do it in two sections. Okay, so the first section you can do the day before, the night before. It's just so it marinates a little bit better. Okay, so in here I've got 130 grams of natural yogurt. I've got 1 tablespoon of turmeric. I've got half a tablespoon of sea salt and a whole teaspoon of black pepper. I've got about a thumb-sized bit of ginger, and that's all chopped up fine. And I've got 8 cloves of garlic. So hopefully you do like garlic. I've got some red lentils here, and I've got 300 grams, but in it, all you need is 300 grams, but I've got 400 grams here just because I like it a little bit meatier, of diced shoulder of lamb. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to pop the water on. So that's heating that water up. And the lentils are going to go in here, okay? So I'm just going to pop them in. I'm not fussed about it boiling. I'm just going to stick a lid on it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cook that until it starts bubbling away. Then I'm going to turn the heat down on that and let it simmer away for around about 20 minutes, and then we take it off. While that's going away, I've got my yogurt, and all I'm going to do there, I'm going to stick my turmeric in there. I'm going to stick my sea salt and my pepper in there. The garlic or the ginger goes in there. I need to get them two around the right way, because if I don't, then it's going to taste pretty damn awful. That's going to go in there as well. And then I'm just going to get the lamb, chop that off. Let's get in there. That's going to go in there as well. So make sure you don't stick the paper in there. So that's going to go in there. This is where we're going to get really messy. So sleeves come up, and all I'm going to do is just mix this up. Make sure all the lamb is coated. It should go a nice golden colour in there. So really coat it all in. Press the meat down, give it a massage and take all your tensions out on it. And I'm getting proper messy. So if you bought it in a packet like I have, what I tend to do is make sure you don't get any really big chunks stuck together, because lamb's a little bit fatty and you're going to get the fat holding it all together. So I don't want to eat it and have a big stringy bit of meat in my mouth. So I'm going to make sure they're all individual bits in there. So that's looking pretty good now. And I'm not fussed, I just rip it apart. Don't worry about knifing it. Oh, the postman's just turned up. So that's that done. So that's going to go to one side. I'm just going to go and wash my hands. So that is going to go in the fridge. Move things about. So I'm going to let that cook away, and I will see you back. I'm going to leave mine in the fridge for about 3 hours, okay? But preferably, can't even talk to, better if you leave it overnight, because the longer we leave it, the more them flavours are going to induce or subduce, or you know what I'm trying to say. It's going to infuse. That's the word. It's going to infuse into the meat and make it taste a little bit better, okay? But 3 hours should be sufficient, but overnight will be better. That's going to take around about 30 minutes to get that prepped as well. So the second part, this has been marinating in the fridge for 3 hours now. So I'd recommend doing it overnight, but I want to get it sorted today for you guys. So all I've got is a big pan here. I've got all my ingredients over here. So I've got the red lentils that I cooked earlier. They're all cooled down now. They're put to one side. I've got 4 chilies. I've got 3 green and I've got 1 red one. And as you can see there, I've just cut them in half and I've left them pretty large because Loz doesn't like them. She thinks they're too hot, so she can find them and pick them out. But if you want to cut them small and whack them in there, that's pretty cool. And there's a big myth that people say it's the seeds that give you the heat. It's not actually the seeds, it's the white pith you see inside. So I've actually taken all them out as well as the seeds, so it's not as hot. So, but it's up to you. If you like it really hot, you can actually leave them in. I've got 2 medium-sized red onions there, cut up really small. I've got a tin of chopped tomatoes. I've got some ghee, and I've got them. And I've got here, I've got 1 tablespoon of ground coriander, and I've got 1 teaspoon of paprika there. I've got 1 cinnamon stick. I've got a teaspoon of cumin, and that's a big teaspoon, sorry. And I've got 3 cloves there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to whack the heat on my pan. Just take that off so we can see what I'm doing and put stuff in there. So that's going to come to the heat. And all we're going to do, we're going to start off by just putting the cinnamon stick in there, the cumin, and the cloves in there, okay? And all I want to do, I'm just going to move them around so they don't burn. All I want to do is just toast them off. And that's going to be around about 4 minutes in that. 4 minutes, scrap that. It's going to be about 45 seconds, so not long at all. So 45 seconds up, I've got my coconut oil. You can use ghee, but I just like to add the coconut in there. And we're going to put 2 of these in there. Sticky stuff. 1 of them, and the second one, and it goes. So now I'm just going to leave that to melt. I can actually smell that coming through now already. It's nice. With all these recipes I do, they are so easy. Once you've got the prep done and cut the onions, cut the tomatoes up and whatever needs to be done, it's just literally whacking it all in a pan. So the onions are going to go in next. Everything's melted down, so there's no chunks of coconut in there at all no more. So that's going in. Mix that all up. And one thing that I learned when it comes to cooking is there's no wrong, there's no right. All it is it tastes good or it doesn't taste good. Chili's in next. This is one of the longer recipes I do. So the prep took me around about 15 minutes to cut everything up, slice it out, weigh and measure it all. With the meat overnight or 3 hours, so you can do that before you go to work, and then we can just prep this. The actual cooking time for this is a little bit longer. It's about an hour we want to cook this for. So, because lambs are quite a tough meat, quite a fatty meat, so we're going to cook it on a low heat for a long period of time, so it becomes really, really succulent and really tender. So we want to brown these off for around about 3 to 4 minutes it's going to take. So we're going to fast forward this bit. You don't want to see me stirring this for 4 minutes. 4 minutes is up. What we're going to do, I'm going to add the meat in first. So that's going to go in there. When it wants to come out, it's burnt my bloody hands. It's creating a nice suction in there. Nice little line on the back of the hand, so be careful, pan is hot. So just want to mix all this up so the onions coat everything, the chilies are coating everything. I'm going to add the coriander, ground coriander and the paprika in. Get that all in there. Mix that up thoroughly. So now we've got tinned tomatoes, and they're going to go in there as well. So we're just going to stir all this up. Turn the heat down nice and low now. Just make sure all this is mixed in together. That smells pretty nice. Right, so that's on there. Pop the lid on. Heat down low. And we're going to leave that for about an hour, okay? But you need to keep checking on it, keep coming back, stirring it up. So don't leave it alone. We don't want anything to stick to the bottom of the pan. So I'll see you in about an hour's time. Right, so that's been going on for 50 minutes now. Just have a check, see what's going on. The meat seems to be tender now, which is cool. So what I want to do, I'm going to add in the red lentils, the red things now. We're just going to pop these in, mix them up, and I'm going to cook it for a further 10 minutes now. So this is going to soak up or any excess juices in there and sort of make it into a nice thick consistency, okay? I'm going to add a little bit of water in here. Just because it is getting a little bit dry. So just add a little bit of water in there. Because I want that to cook down even further, just to make the meat even more tender. So I'm going to cover that back up. And give it another about 8 to 10 minutes now. So that's 10 minutes up on the timer. So just double check what's going on here. It's come up quite nice, so you can see it's in a quite thick consistency there. So you can water it down if you want to, if you want it a little bit more saucier and runnier. I like mine quite thick like that. But I'm going to take out the cinnamon stick, obviously, and I'm going to look for the cloves, because there's nothing worse than biting onto a clove. For me, I don't like the taste of them, but the flavour it adds to it, it's in the recipe, so that's what I do. I follow instructions really well. But I'm just going to hunt for them just to dig them out, because there's nothing worse than biting on a hard clove. But yeah, I'm going to serve that. I'm going to let it cool down, and because me and Loz are going to go out for a meeting later on, I'm going to come back and I'm going to reheat that up with some rice and have a nice dinner with that tonight. So yeah, this is the lamb, and you can hear the cat. Wednesday, what's the matter? She's going crazy. Yeah, so this is the Lamb Roganjosh, okay? So heat's off. Let's just move that off the heat. So yeah, that's done. And the best thing about this, all of this food is going to serve probably around about 4 people, okay? That every single bit of ingredients in there come to £12. So feeding a family of 4, or you can have yourself 4 meals there for £12, and it's not bad at all, is it? Who said healthy food has to be expensive? It doesn't.